We are going to be PG today.
PG?
Yes.
Why? It's Aries season. I don't know how to be PG. PG-13?
No.
Rated R.
You know what?
T for teens.
Welcome the people. Welcome the folks.
Hello, hello. Welcome. You're dealing with us today and always. Welcome to Real Talk Duo. I am Takesha Renee.
Kayla Sean.
We got some good topics today.
So I want to start today off with Kay's random questions. And this is just kind of a fun, get started. If you were in the 90s, if you were to be a part of a girl singing group, what group would you be a part of?
In the 90s?
Yeah.
In Vogue?
Never
gonna get it.
Really? I thought you would say, like, I don't know, SWV or TLC, maybe. I don't know.
Not like In Vogue. Never gonna get it.
90s, let's just 90s, 2000s.
You making me think of the 90s and 2000s groups. Hell, I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone 90s and 2000s. What was the girl groups back then? Alright, you got SWV, you got TLC, you got In Vogue, you got, what did I heard it through the grapevine? Brownstone.
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. I was definitely a Destiny's Child kind of.
For me, it probably would be a Destiny's Child. I was actually in a singing group that was being compared to Destiny's Child, but we just weren't mainstream famous. Like,
Okay.
yeah. It was me, my sister, my girlfriend Janaea, and a girl named Candace. We all sang together. There was more of us, but it dwindled down to the four of us.
Okay.
And
Nice.
we our biggest gig was the celebrity. Remember how they used to bring the celebrity basketball games?
Yeah.
We sang the national anthem when the year Master P and Silk the Shocker came.
Ooh.
So that was the K random question. I thought about that earlier. Like, what? I would have probably have been like Destiny's Child or TLC or just because I like to sing different type of music. I'm an R&B girl to my heart, but I listen to everything. Like, my husband couldn't believe I knew who Randy Travis was.
Really?
I'm like, I listened to him when I was little. I grew up on country music. Country, rock, R&B, all kind of stuff. Italian music, because my great-grandmother was half Italian and Creole. So you could imagine the things that I heard.
I can just imagine myself.
It was a very interesting home. But it was full of love, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, that's sweet.
No. I miss my great-grandmother. She taught me a lot.
I used to get my butt beat a lot, so I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I was the oldest. I was the first for everybody. So it was, and then like the other kids didn't live in this. I lived in a house with my great-grandparents, my mom, it was like the house.
Ah.
So I was always there. Like, right there, always. And it was to the point, like, the other kids came around, but it was like, oh, my grandkids are here, and they're visiting, and then I was the kid in the house. Me and Mika, okay, but me. So today we're going to talk about the power of setting boundaries. It's called self-care, setting boundaries.
Yeah, I have an issue with that sometimes, a lot of the times.
Self-care, the power of setting boundaries. Discussing the importance of creating healthy boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and making time for yourself without guilt. Okay, so transparency moment for me. This morning, just this very morning, when I dropped my daughter off, she had a pancake breakfast to go to for her school. And on my way home, I'm thinking, like, what are they going to eat for breakfast? The household. And I went to Chick-fil-A and I got me something to eat for breakfast. But I felt so guilty. And it was just that small little thing that made me feel so bad.
I've done that. I've actually done that before where I've said, okay, I'm going to get me something to eat. I'm going to get me something. And did I feel guilty about it? Hell no. No, I did not feel guilty. I will get y'all something. I will make y'all something. But this is my pleasure. This is something that I want. This is something. I'm not spending all my money on you guys because I'm broke.
And I get that. And I understand that that's important. Like, I advocate for people to do that all the time. Self-care. Think about yourself. Don't feel guilty. But I felt extremely guilty. And then I came in the house because I thought everybody was still asleep. And my husband's up getting ready for his event. My daughter's up doing whatever she's doing. I'm like, oh, God. So I just had to tell him, like, I only had X amount of dollars to get me this. I just got this because I needed to take
I wouldn't
medicine.
explain nothing.
I
wouldn't have explained.
And I didn't need to. And he even said that. He was like, you don't need to explain nothing to me. I can go in there and make something up. But the thing is that's, for me, I'm always thinking about them first.
Yes.
And not prioritizing myself.
Yourself. Absolutely.
You know, and I'm not saying that I never do. It's just, when I do, I guilt myself about it.
Yeah, well, I ain't guilting myself about nothing no more. I've done that, been there, no more, because I have put everybody first for so long. Mm-hmm. When I'm gonna put myself first?
That's true. That's true. That's
so
very true.
I have decided, don't ask me for nothing because you're gonna get the answer no. I'm just no. Can you no? Can I? I don't care what you do, but the answer with me is gonna be no. I'm done.
Right.
I'm literally, I've done so much for so many people and got burned in the end, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm cool.
So how do you set boundaries for your self-care? What are ways that you set boundaries for your self-care?
Saying no. Saying no is the biggest boundary that you can have, because a lot of the times, for me, I'll say for me, is saying no, because I'm always the one who, helps everybody. I'm tired of helping everybody. So my boundary now is to be able to say no.
I don't like saying no.
And I'm
talking about my household. Now, outside of my household, I will tell you no all day long. I have learned to do that. I have grown comfortable doing that. I don't have a problem.
Right.
With outside of my home. For me, the struggle is inside the house, because I don't like telling my kids no. I feel like my thing has always been, my kids do everything that I ask them to do, like most of the important stuff. Of course,
right.
They, normal kids say,
stuff.
Do the dishes, clean your room, like, of course, that type of stuff. But my kids are scholars. They, they don't get in trouble. They, they're very mindful of the things that I ask them to do, like the important things.
Right.
I don't like to tell them no. And it's very hard to set boundaries, because sometimes the things that they're asking to do is taking me in several different directions. Like, it's not letting me have a moment for myself. Like, I thought about that this morning.
Okay.
Again, this is one of the things I thought about this morning, and it was crazy because I didn't even realize that would be the topic for today. But I thought about, like, I've been running for these kids for the last month. Like, literally.
When is it going to be your
rehearsals, practices, events, like, it's like all over the place. I'm like, I don't have a second. I haven't had a second to really just be me.
Right.
And yesterday when I thought I was going to have that moment, I ended up having to take my husband to the doctor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I just don't have a moment, which I'm not complaining about it, but I really, like, I'm beginning to see I have to block out time for myself.
You have to be able to tell them no and not feel guilty about it. It's harder than what it is, but you have to be able to be like, I can't do it today.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
That is my boundaries, is telling people no. Being able to, that's my self-care. That includes inside my house, that includes outside my house, that's everybody.
So what do you actually do for your actual self-care? For yourself. What is it that you block out time for yourself to do?
Sleep. Catch up on my shows. Per our last episode, we know that I go off on tangents about politics, so we're not going to talk about politics. Not today.
But one thing that I have been doing is, instead of watching political, news breaks and stuff like that, I have been watching crime shows, purposely.
What you trying to do, get away with murder? Don't answer that question. Took you too long to answer that question.
I'm not.
Took you way too long to answer that question.
I am not. trying to get away with anything. But my point is that I make time to do that.
That's something that you want to do.
Well, yeah, and it takes my mind off of watching the other stuff because the other stuff sends me down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I can't do rabbit holes right now. Only rabbit hole I'm doing is
all the way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, the only rabbit hole I'm doing is homework. That's in the.
It was sticking to my brassiere. It was annoying. Sorry. Real talk.
Real talk. Real shit.
And I'm just letting y'all know right now. Y'all say something ignorant about my hair today. I have some choice words for you, but I'm not going to say them here. Okay? I know it looks crazy. The one side is super thick. That's what I was doing when I was trying to make this. This side's thick. This side's normal. I don't know what is going on.
That's it.
That's what it felt like. The steam just poof, the magic dragon over there. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I have been doing. Usually, I block out time. Like my self-care would involve getting my nails done, getting a pedicure, or, you know, just taking myself, going to walk around the mall.
Right, right.
Like, that used to be my me time.
Right.
Yes, I'm back. Okay.
I can't wear her today.
It's one of them days. It is one of them days where everything that could bug me is bugging me, and everything that could happen is happening. So I'm just gonna let it happen. And
yeah, well,
this is life. This is, oh my gosh. We're gonna have to cut this off. We're gonna have to take this lap down. Because they're gonna be like, what is she doing?
minding her business.
All the way. All the way. But yeah, so that used to be my actual
Self-care.
carved out self-care time.
Okay.
Would be pedicures, nails, just, you know, stuff like that. All right. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I don't know.
You're having some technical
difficulties.
difficulties. I couldn't even say it. Jeez.
It's bad today, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just like, you know, everybody has those days. You know, let's talk about this briefly. Everybody has those days where just nothing is going the way
right.
you want it to go, and everything that could happen is happening. Well, today I had the itchies, and my skin is like itching everywhere, like my arms, my back, everything's itching. So, and it's like, it's, you know how you get that itch where you just can't help but to scratch it. Yeah. So it's one, and I put baby oil on. I don't know what else to do.
Hold on. Got out the shower, put my baby oil on, put my nightgown back on. Went to go get dressed, and I had scratched earlier. Why did it look like that I didn't put on anything? I was ashy.
The weather, listen, it's drying people out.
Oh my God.
Because for the life of me, I can't understand how. So I'm a person who puts baby oil on in the shower.
So do I.
Why am I getting out the shower and I can go like this and see white?
It still be.
And I'm light skinned, according to my family.
You are. It's okay.
I'm brown skin.
I'm gonna need you to understand that you is whole ass light skin.
I'm light brown, okay?
Okay. Okay.
I'm light brown. I shouldn't be able to see ash when I put baby oil on.
Listen, hold on. I've seen this white person who was ashy, so therefore I seen it, and I was shocked. A white person who was ashy.
I'm trying to envision what that looks like. How
ashy? It don't even matter. He was
they
ashy.
must be dehydrated.
Ashy.
How?
Ashy, because he scratched, and I was like, "Oh, you is ashy."
No, seriously, I'm really baffled. I'm flabbergasted because I really want to see an ashy white person. Because I don't. How do you see ash on pale skin? My mother she could pass for white. And she always said, I'm ashy. And I'd be looking at her like, no, you just white. Like, Mom, have you looked in the mirror? I get ashy. My sister gets ashy.
I get ashy, but I'm choco latte.
I don't know.
Are you having a moment?
It's just one of them days.
Sorry, we having them days.
So yeah. But what do your self-care, what do you carve out for yourself?
I don't really do much anymore. I literally, my self-care is away from everybody. Smoking a blunt. Yup, I said it. That is my self-care. I'm legal. I'm legal. That is my self-care.
Get it. We get it. And that's, I understand. Can't say that on social media.
Y'all suck.
Yeah, just like you can't say unalived.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And
SA?
yeah.
Yeah, or I see people now saying SSA.
Yeah.
What is SSA? Social Security Administration.
That's a baffling thing that they cancel the fact checking, but they want to censor
what you say
everything
now,
else. It's
right?
Strange. Any rate, having a self-care plan is it's important.
Absolutely.
For you, especially for women and women who have families. Like you have to prioritize self sometimes. The point of this discussion is prioritize yourself. Have that time to carve out for yourself and do what you want to do. Even if it's something that's going to sit in your car and listening to music by yourself.
Okay, now I have literally got off work, sat in the driveway, sat on my phone for half an hour, 45 minutes. That is self-care. That is ultimate because you're decompressing from work, so you don't take what was going on at work into home, and that helps to calm you down so you can deal with whatever you got to deal with at home.
I contend. I used to do that when I was a teacher, and it was very necessary. I would send my kids in the house, and I would just sit in my driveway. I knew they were safe. They couldn't get out unless they came past me, but I would send them in the house. One time I stayed in the car for an hour to the point where they was coming out like, Mom, are you okay? I'm like, yes. And I literally was just sitting there. But I think that was the day that I had a student who threw hand sanitizer in my eye.
Oh.
Yeah. I dealt with those kind of students. All the children, even the bad ones, were not that bad, but there were a few children who, had behavior problems, and there were days I had to sit in my car and
Decompress.
really, just let me leave this outside, because if I take this in my house, so it was, I definitely get why sitting in your car after work matters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you don't have to be coming from work. You can just come out of your house and go sit in your car and just sit there.
I haven't done that. I haven't literally just sat in the car because, but I have literally drove home because used to take me a half an hour to get home. And then I would just sit in the car. And then there would be times where I would look up and my kids was looking at me like.
Yeah. It's important, definitely important to have a self-care regimen, plan something. Oh, FYI, y'all, the leopard thing was not planned. I know people was looking like, oh, look at, nope, it was not planned. She walked in the room, and I happened to look over like, yeah.
It wasn't planned at all.
So it just kind of happened
today.
This way.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in today. We hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. Remember,
you know what? Have a great, blessed weekend. You gotta get up.
I do want to send a thank you to Ascension Solutions for sponsoring our video today. And we hope to see you guys over on YouTube next week. So, with that being said, have a good weekend and we'll see y'all later.
Deuces.